Alrighty, so I'm making this video because I saw the last episode of Arrow, and start by saying I love watching Arrow. I've been watching Arrow since season 1. I caught season 1 on Hulu when it was already out there, and I watched season 1, I watched all of season 2, I watched all of season 3. I've seen all the fucking crossovers, that's why I got into Flash. Okay, and Arrow has always been a show that is reaching greatness, but then has problems. And the reason why it has problems is because they started out wanting to be like kind of this Nolan universe in which it's a realistic depiction of like vigilante justice. In the first season, there is not a single character in that show that has superpowers. And it seems somewhere along the lines, DC decided they wanted to suddenly have superpowers so that they can introduce the Flash and they can do different things and give the Flash a try. Season 1 was all just vigilante, realistic Nolan type storytelling. Okay, season 2 was okay. There's like science involved. There are people genetic science stuff. Barry gets created to so that leads into the Flash. A bunch of things happen. Season 3 was like a fucking mess. Like the show didn't know what it wanted to do, and now we're in season 4. The show still doesn't know what it wants to do. The reason for this video is I have become completely desensitized when it comes to people dying on Arrow. Almost every motherfucker that you think is dead comes back in some way, shape, or form. This is regarding the supposed death of Laurel Lance, okay? The history of Laurel Lance, for those of you who maybe haven't seen the entire show or just catching Arrow now, Laurel Lance was Oliver's girlfriend before he went on the trip, like a trip with his dad. Okay, on the trip, they had broken up like a week or something before, or they were still together. I don't know. Things weren't great, and he decides to fuck her sister, Sarah Lance. Okay, so he's on the boat with Sarah Lance, and in the episode, it's presumed that everybody on the boat is dead except him and his dad. His dad kills himself later, but he's the only survivor of this boat crash. That's all of season 1 is that. He comes back to the city. Laurel kind of has this, I don't know if I want to be with him thing. He doesn't know if he wants to be with her. Okay, season 2. It turns out he's lied to everybody. He thought she was dead in the boat, but then she came back on the island, like she was on the island. So he knew that she was alive in the flashbacks, and then in real time of season 2, the present day of season 2, she comes back, and they're alluding to her basically becoming the Black Canary. At this point, he doesn't love Laurel anymore. He's got a thing now with Sarah. So if you're tracking already, he had a thing for Laurel, didn't really give a fuck, cheated with Sarah. Then he kind of fell back in love with Laurel. Then season 2, he falls back in love with Sarah. Then season 3, it's like kind of cares about everybody. He cares about Sarah. He cares about Laurel. He's starting to have feelings for Felicity. Okay, so keeping track now. They kill Sarah in season 3 for the technically third time, because the first time he thought she died on the boat. The second time he thought she died on the island. The third time is season 3. I actually thought this time around when they killed Sarah, it was a done deal. I could see them turning Laurel into the Black Canary from a fucking mile away. I called it at the beginning of the season when I saw Sarah die. I'm like, oh, they're going to make Laurel Black Canary again. Okay, they fucking bury Sarah. When they find out about the Lazarus Pit, and where was it? At season 4, they fucking dig up Sarah's body and resurrect her. And the reason why they resurrect her is because they realized they wanted that character back for DC Legends of Tomorrow. And so she's been resurrected yet again. Okay, so now she's doing her DC Legends of Tomorrow thing, which I gotta catch up on. I'm like 2 or 3 episodes behind. So now we come to Laurel. Again, spoiler alert for the episode. Laurel is supposedly dead. In the beginning of season 4, they hint that there is a woman from the cast that's dead. At first you think it could be Felicity, and then they reveal in the flashback that it's not Felicity, it's somebody else. Okay, Laurel, to set up what happens, Damien Dark stabs Laurel in the stomach. Okay, he stabs her. They take Laurel to a hospital. She doesn't look good. She goes through surgery. They take her out of surgery, and she's talking to everybody, smiling, looking just great. Like, looking as good as someone can look when they just came out of a situation where they got stabbed with an arrow. Okay, so everybody leaves the room. Now it's just her and Oliver talking to each other. And for those of you that are caught up with the show, Felicity has now dumped Oliver as well. So all 3 women in his life that aren't his sister have got in a relationship with him and dumped him. Okay, so he's with Laurel. Laurel is basically revealing that she's been in love with him like the whole time. That Oliver is the love of Laurel's life. She just decided to say, oh, you're the love of my life. So then they're having this conversation, and she's about to tell him something, and the camera kind of does this thing where it angles from outside the hospital room so that you can just see them talking, but you can't hear anything. The next thing is it cuts to the hallway, and all of a sudden Laurel's having a seizure. Okay, and everybody's crying and makes it look like she's dead. No, I'm actually recording a video.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, I'll let you
know. No. Actually, I want to get your reaction of this. I just saw the last episode of Arrow, like that just came out. Okay. Supposedly, Laurel is dead.
Again?
No, this is not Sarah. This is Laurel. Laurel got stabbed.
Oh my God! The sister, right?
Yeah, the sister who hasn't died yet.
Oh my God! Bro, are you kidding me?
But here's the thing. I have suspicions about her death.
She's dead.
Do you think so?
Probably not. I mean, they always come back somehow. Yeah, she's gonna come back this season. Don't worry. Don't worry about that.
All right, babe.
Like 3 times, so I'm pretty sure she's gonna come back. Like, I'm just tired of them killing people and then bringing them back to life. If they're gonna kill someone, fucking kill them, you know? If they're not gonna have them, I don't know why you're still watching that show for real.
So as you can see, even Jesse doesn't believe she's fucking dead. And I just don't understand. Okay, I understand why death is important, clearly, because I read comic books and every motherfucker has died in a comic book and come back to life. That doesn't bother me. It's just that when you do it in a fucking TV show, it starts becoming a little fucking ridiculous. Especially with Arrow, because Arrow, like I said, was one show in season 1 and it's changed every single time. And it sucks because they have an amazing cast. I feel like this season of Arrow, although it has its flaws, we've seen the best of Thea's character. We've seen the best of Laurel's character. Pretty much character-wise, we've seen the best version of each character. What I don't like is they make these fucking decisions to do things. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I'm sick and tired of the flashbacks with Arrow. Please, we're in season 4. When's this fucker gonna like have flashbacks not on the island, you know? We know he survives. We know he survives. No, and then the totem that gives Damien Dark his power, the fucking totem that gives Damien Dark his power, we've seen the totem for at least, I want to say 3 or 4 episodes. Everybody saw the totem and destroyed it. And in this episode, Oliver goes, hey, I have to tell you guys something that I didn't tell you. I've seen the totem before. Wow, dude, that would have been some really helpful fucking information. That would have been really helpful. They only hid one piece of the stone. Why did they have the stone in a complete form in the first place? If I was them, I would have gotten the pieces, okay, and spread that shit out across the world. He's rich, or at least we think he's rich. He could have thrown one and one, like one and another. Like why is it that they had assembled the whole statue for Damien and like just had one gem missing? Oh my God. Meanwhile, the Flash, at least in my opinion, Flash kicking ass. I haven't really had too much complaints about the Flash, other than almost everybody knows who Barry Allen is. But that's a whole other situation. Motherfuckers keep stumbling into Arrow's base. I'll be shocked if Laurel is actually dead. I will be shocked. And poor fucking Detective Lance. He has seen one daughter die like twice and the other daughter die once now, and that guy just needs to. I'm surprised he hasn't just killed himself already, or just gone into complete fucking lunacy. But anyway, I just want to talk about that. I needed to vent to someone because I literally just finished watching that episode, and the way they set it up is Laurel could be dead. Laurel probably isn't dead. I guess it's whatever the writers decide. If they want Laurel back, they could just bring her back, or maybe it's a setup. Maybe Oliver's lying to everybody again because he can't trust anybody again. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. Fucking shit.